Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Or should I say, treasure hunters? Today, we're diving into a story that will have you double checking your loose change and maybe even raiding grandma's old coin jar. You might not believe this, but there's a penny out there worth $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a humble, everyday penny that's worth more than most houses. And no, it's not some ancient relic from the Roman Empire. We're talking about the 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Curious? Good, because this is a story you don't want to miss, but first, let me set the scene. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, you hand over some coins to pay, and the cashier casually gives you back change. Among the dimes and nickels, there's a little copper penny you almost don't even notice. That penny? It could be your golden ticket to $1 million payday. Sounds like a dream, right? Let's talk about how this can become your reality, alright? Let's get to the nitty-gritty. What makes this 1986 no-mint Mark penny so special? And why on earth would anyone pay $1.1 million for something you can find in your couch cushions? The secret lies in the no-mint mark. For those of you new to the coin world, the mint mark is a tiny letter on a coin that tells you where it was made, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But in 1986, there was a batch of Lincoln pennies minted without any mark at all. These were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but unlike most Philly coins, these didn't get the usual P stamp. And now, here's the kicker: not all 1986 no-mint mark pennies are worth a fortune. The $1 million value comes down to condition. Experts use a grading scale, and only those in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch the big bucks. Think of it like collecting comic books. Your old, dog-eared Spider-Man isn't the same as a perfectly preserved first edition, but what makes this story fun is that these pennies are rare, but not too rare. They're out there, hidden in old collections, forgotten in jars, or even sitting in your pocket right now. Crazy, right? Speaking of crazy, let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my garage, the kind of clean out where you question every life decision that led to owning 3 broken vacuums and a single rollerblade. Anyway, I stumbled upon an old piggy bank from my childhood. Out of sheer curiosity, I dumped it out and started sifting through the coins. Spoiler alert, I didn't find a $1 million penny, but I did find a 1970s penny that's worth about $10. Not quite life-changing, but hey, it paid for my coffee that day. And it reminded me just how many hidden treasures might be lurking in plain sight. Now, back to our 1986 gem. You're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera to zoom in on the penny. Check the year, it should say 1986. Then look for the mint mark. If there's no letter under the date, congratulations, you might have hit the jackpot, but before you start planning your dream vacation, you'll need to get the penny authenticated and graded. There are professional coin grading services, like PCGS or NGC, that can tell you if your penny is truly $1 million material. And trust me, it's worth the effort. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your pockets, your jars, your car's cup holders, heck, even that junk drawer you've been meaning to organize. You never know where you might find a 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. And remember, this isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the chance to be part of an amazing story. Now, before you go tearing apart your house in search of pennies, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. We're all about finding hidden gems, learning the secrets of valuable coins, and having a little fun along the way. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and drop a comment if you've ever found a coin worth serious cash or if you just want to say hi. You're digging through your couch cushions for spare change, and bam! You find a penny. Not just any penny, but one worth $1.2 million. Crazy, right? Well, it's not as impossible as it sounds, because today, we're talking about the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a tiny copper coin that's making a huge impact in the coin collecting world. Hey there, my fellow treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden gems in your pocket change. I'm your name, and today, we're diving into why this humble penny could be your ticket to an early retirement or, at the very least, a really fancy dinner. First things first, let's break it down. A 1980 no-mint mark penny is exactly what it sounds like, a Lincoln penny from 1980 without a mint mark. Usually, pennies have a little letter stamped on them indicating where they were made: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But if there's no letter at all, it means the penny was minted in Philadelphia. Back then, Philly coins didn't get a mint mark, which isn't unusual. So why is this penny worth $1.2 million? We'll get to that in a second. Now here's where it gets juicy. The 1980 no-mint mark penny becomes a rock star when it's in pristine condition. Coin collectors go absolutely wild for coins graded as MS-67 or higher. What's MS-67, you ask? It's like the coin equivalent of a flawless Instagram filter: zero scratches, perfect shine, and edges so sharp they could cut butter. If your penny looks like it just came off the press yesterday, cha-ching. That's when the big bucks come rolling in. Alright, time to play detective. Grab your old jar of coins, or maybe raid your parents' piggy bank, with their permission, of course, and start hunting. Look for pennies from 1980 and check if they're missing a mint mark. Then, inspect them closely. Got a magnifying glass? Great. No scratches? Nice. Still shiny? Even better. If it looks too good to toss into a vending machine, you might just have a winner. Here's a fun little story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one filled with random keys, old receipts, and batteries that probably don't work. I found a bunch of pennies and thought, why not? Turns out, one of them was a no-mint mark penny from the 80s. Spoiler alert, it wasn't in mint condition, but it got me so hooked on coin hunting that I've been checking every penny since. Moral of the story? Don't underestimate those little coins hiding in plain sight. They might just surprise you. So, let's say you strike gold, or, in this case, copper. What now? First, don't clean the coin. I know it's tempting to polish it up, but that can actually decrease its value. Instead, get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. These folks are the experts, and their seal of approval can turn your penny from a nice find into a millionaire's dream. Here's the thing, coin collectors love rarity and perfection. The 1980 no-mint mark penny ticks both boxes when in top condition. Think of it like vintage sneakers or first edition books. There's a niche market willing to pay top dollar for that one-in-a-million find. So, yes, it's all about supply, demand, and a sprinkle of luck. So, there you have it. The 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, an unassuming little coin that could make you a millionaire. Who knew something so ordinary could be so extraordinary? It's proof that treasures really do hide in plain sight. Now, before you rush off to dig through your coin jar, here's a quick reminder: if you love learning about valuable coins and how to find them, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more money-making tips. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we've got coming up next. And hey, if you've got an awesome coin story or a question, drop it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. It's like one big treasure hunting family here. Hey there, treasure hunters. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been casually digging through your pocket change, only to find a penny and think, meh, just a penny? What if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $1.3 million? Yes, you heard me right, million. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1968 S-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable, it could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Stick around, because I'll be breaking down everything you need to know about this rare gem, from what makes it so special to how you can spot one in your own collection. Plus, I'll share a hilarious, and slightly embarrassing, story about how I almost gave away a valuable coin for a cup of coffee. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Alright, let's get to the juicy stuff. The 1968 S-mint mark Lincoln penny is part of the iconic Wheat penny series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958 before transitioning to the memorial design we know today. But here's the kicker: this particular penny is so rare because of an error in its production. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a little OL penny? Great question. This bad boy was minted in San Francisco, hence the S-mint mark, and the rarity comes from a double die error. For those of you who aren't coin geeks yet, don't worry, you will be by the end of this video. A double die error happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, creating a slightly blurry or doubled appearance on the details. It's like the penny had a bit too much coffee and couldn't sit still during the minting process. So, what should you look for? On the 1968 S penny, the doubling is typically visible on the date, the S mint mark, and some of the letters, like Liberty or In God We Trust. If you see this, congratulations! You might be holding on to a fortune now. Here's where the plot thickens. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, and their rarity has sent collectors into a frenzy. The current market value for one in pristine condition? A jaw-dropping $1.3 million. That's right, 1.3 million. Imagine telling your friends you became a millionaire thanks to a penny. That's a flex I want in my life. Speaking of life, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I found a strange-looking penny in my junk drawer. It had a weird doubling on the date, and I thought, cool. A misprint. I didn't think much of it and tossed it in the tip jar at my local coffee shop. Fast forward to a week later, I learned about the 1968 S penny and immediately broke out in a cold sweat. I rushed back to that coffee shop, trying to explain to the barista why I needed to check their tip jar. Spoiler alert, the penny was long gone. Moral of the story? Always check your coins before you spend them. So, what's the takeaway here? Never underestimate the power of a penny. The 1968 S mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that tiny things can have massive value. Start digging through your change jars, your old piggy banks, or even grandma's coin collection. Who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this: if you've ever dreamed of turning spare change into serious cash, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join me on this coin hunting journey. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and insider secrets about coins worth serious money. And hey, if you've got a coin story, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Alright, before you grab that old jar of pennies and start digging for treasure, let me just say, not all pennies are created equal. In fact, some of them could actually make you a millionaire. Yep, you heard that right. I'm talking about a single penny that could be worth a whopping $1.40 million. Now, before you go running to check your wallet, let's dive into the mystery of the 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why this coin is worth so much. Spoiler alert, it's not because Abraham Lincoln secretly wrote a check for $1 million on it. But it is pretty wild, and you won't believe how this little coin can make you a big chunk of change. So stick around, and by the end of this video, you might just be looking at your pocket change a little differently. Alright, let's start by breaking down what makes the 2015 no-mint mark penny so special. Now, most of us are familiar with the regular pennies that come from the US Mint, right? They usually have a mint mark on them, like the D for Denver or the S for San Francisco. But in 2015, something happened. There was a series of pennies that were struck without the usual mint mark. You might be thinking, well, what's the big deal? A penny's a penny, right? And to be fair, most pennies don't have much value unless they're rare or in fantastic condition. But here's where the magic happens. The 2015 no-mint mark pennies are extremely rare, and when one pops up in mint condition, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is worth a ton of money, and the haystack is filled with hundreds of thousands of regular pennies. But you're probably wondering, why is this particular penny worth a staggering $1.4 million? Well, here's the scoop. Mint errors like this one can drive the value of a coin through the roof. The 2015 no-mint mark penny was struck without a mint mark due to a small oversight at the US Mint, which means these coins were essentially an oops moment. And who doesn't love a good oops that turns into a fortune, right? It's not just the missing mint mark that makes it valuable. It's also about how well preserved the coin is. A mint condition 2015 no-mint mark penny is practically flawless, with sharp details, no wear and tear, and that nice, shiny look that makes it stand out from the rest of the coins. The demand for these error coins is high, and collectors are always on the lookout for them, which is why the value keeps skyrocketing. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world did I not notice this penny sitting in my jar of change? Well, don't feel too bad. It's not like you're going to come across a $1.4 million penny on a daily basis. The truth is, finding one of these coins is incredibly rare, and most of the time, they're in private collections or hidden away in coin dealers' vaults. But here's the kicker: I've been down that road before, too. I remember the first time I was on a coin hunting kick. I had heard about rare pennies being worth a ton of cash, and I thought, hey, I've got some pennies lying around. Why not see if I've got a hidden gem? I pulled out my jar of pennies, went through each one carefully, and guess what? I found a 1943 penny. I was thinking, this could be it. I'm rich. I got super excited and looked it up online only to discover it was just a regular old 1943 copper penny and worth about a penny. But hey, at least I got a good laugh out of it. While it's not every day that you'll come across a $1.4 million penny, it's definitely worth learning about and keeping an eye out for these rare coins. Sometimes, the hunt itself is part of the fun, even if you end up with just a few pennies and a good story to tell. Alright, now that you know all about the 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's worth a mind-blowing $1.4 million, what do you think? Do you have any in your collection? Or are you feeling inspired to dig through your penny jar and start hunting for treasures? Remember, coins like this don't pop up every day, but you never know, your next pocket change might just hold a hidden gem. So, next time you're in a coin shop or looking through your spare change, keep your eyes peeled for something that looks a little off or unusual. That's where the magic happens, and hey, before you head off, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips and insider secrets on how to spot valuable coins worth millions of dollars. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery. Drop a like if you found this video interesting, and share it with your friends who might just have a $1.4 million penny hiding in their change drawer. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Have you ever stumbled across a penny and thought, could this little guy be worth more than I'm paying for my morning coffee? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into a penny that's not just worth your coffee, it's worth $1.5 million. That's right, $1.5 million. So, grab a snack, sit back, and let's talk about the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and why it could have you rolling in the dough. Well, maybe not you personally, but you get the idea. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, a penny? Really? But trust me, this little copper circle is no ordinary coin. In fact, it's one of those rare gems that could make you a millionaire, and today, you're going to learn why. Let's get right into it, shall we? The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that turns heads in the numismatic world. You see, usually, every coin minted by the US has a mint mark that tells you where it was made: Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. But here's the kicker, the 1978 penny was supposed to have a mint mark, but for some reason, some of them just didn't. And while it might seem like a simple printing error, that little mistake could be worth a small fortune today. And now, I know what you're thinking, but how can a penny with no mint mark be so valuable? Well, that's where the magic happens. When it comes to coin collecting, rarity is king. And when a coin is supposed to have a mint mark but doesn't, that makes it incredibly rare, and as we know, rare equals valuable in the world of coin collecting. There were only a few of these 1978 no mint mark pennies made, and that rarity is what drives up the price to a whopping $1.50 million. But how do you even know if you've got one of these gems in your pocket? The first thing you want to do is check the coin for the absence of a mint mark. If you're looking at a 1978 penny and you can't find a DRS, for Denver or San Francisco, near the bottom of Abraham Lincoln's portrait, then you might just be holding on to a treasure. However, be cautious. There are plenty of pennies out there that are worn down or damaged, and they could trick you into thinking you've got something special when you really don't. I remember when I first got into coin collecting, and no, it wasn't as glamorous as it sounds. I was about 10 years old, and I found a penny in my change jar that I thought was just the penny to retire on. I had no idea what I was looking at, but I was certain it was worth a small fortune. Turns out, it was a regular old penny. But, hey, that experience really ignited my passion for coins and got me diving deep into the world of rare finds. So, trust me, the thrill of finding a coin worth a ton is real, and it's a journey I'll never forget. And now, back to the 1978 penny. So, let's say you've got one of these magical no-mint mark pennies in your collection. What should you do next? Well, first, don't go rushing off to sell it. Get it professionally appraised by a trusted expert. The market for rare coins fluctuates, and you'll want to make sure you're getting the best price. Some of these 1978 no-mint mark pennies have been known to go for over $1.5 million at auction, depending on their condition. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it will be. But how does a coin get to that $1 million level? Well, it all comes down to condition and demand. If your coin is in mint condition, meaning it's shiny, crisp, and has no visible damage, you're in luck. However, if it's been through the ringer, or the washing machine, or the bottom of your pocket for 20 years, then its value will drop. This is why coin collectors obsess over keeping their coins in perfect condition. One scratch can cost you thousands, so be gentle, but don't stress if your 1978 penny isn't in mint condition. You can still cash in if it's got that rare no mint mark feature. As long as it's recognizable and not too far gone, there's still a chance it could fetch a nice sum. And hey, if you're wondering whether or not to hold on to it or sell it, here's a little personal advice. Sometimes, keeping rare finds can lead to even bigger opportunities down the line. I once sold a coin I thought was just okay, only to find out later that it was worth way more than I got for it. It's a tough lesson, but one that taught me to take my time and always consult the experts before making a big decision. So, to wrap things up, yes, that tiny penny in your pocket could be worth a lot more than you think. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare gem that could make you rich if you've got one in your collection, but don't forget that coin collecting is all about knowledge, patience, and a little bit of luck. If you've got the right coin, and you know what to look for, you could be holding on to a small fortune. If you're new to coin collecting, or if you're just starting to realize that your pocket change might have more value than you thought, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more tips and tricks on finding rare coins worth big money. I'll be here sharing my own experiences, expert advice, and more strategies for tracking down coins that could put a hefty amount of cash in your pocket. So, go ahead, dive into your change jar, check those pennies, and let's see if you've got the next $1.5 million coin sitting right in your hand. And hey, if you find something amazing, don't forget to drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your coin hunting adventures. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. What if I told you that you could find a penny in your pocket right now worth over $1.6 million? Yep, you heard that right. A 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. No, it's not a typo or a late-night infomercial. And no, I'm not talking about a rare treasure you'll need a map and a metal detector to find. It could be sitting in your drawer, under your couch cushions, or, if you're lucky, right in your loose change. Stick with me for the next 20 minutes, and I'm going to dive into the world of 1988 no mint mark Lincoln pennies, what makes them so valuable, why they can be worth over $1 million, and what you should look for if you want to spot one in the wild. Plus, I'll share a little story from my personal coin hunting days that might just make you chuckle. Alright, let's break it down. You might be asking, why on earth is a 1988 penny worth $1.6 million? I mean, pennies are just pennies, right? Well, not exactly. You see, the key to this penny's insane value isn't in the date itself, but in the fact that it's missing something that most pennies have. When you take a look at most pennies, especially from the 1980s, you'll see a small mint mark right under the date. This mint mark tells you where the penny was made, the D for Denver, the S for San Francisco, or, wait for it, the famous P for Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, the 1988 penny we're talking about doesn't have a mint mark at all. It's just a blank space where you'd expect a letter to be. Why does this matter? Because in 1988, the US Mint accidentally released a small batch of pennies without the mint mark. This tiny mistake turned out to be a big deal for collectors. Over time, those few pennies have become highly sought after by numismatists and collectors, making them one of the rarest finds in the world of modern coins. And now, I know what you're thinking. Great, now I have to go through every penny in my change jar to find one of these? Well, kinda. But let's talk about why it's not as easy as just stumbling across one of these rare gems. Let me paint the picture for you. In the grand scheme of things, a penny is worth, well, a penny. The copper in it, the design, and the manufacturing process don't make it a standout. But when something is as rare as a penny without a mint mark, collectors go crazy. They know that rarity equals value. Think about it, if you were the only one with a certain limited edition trading card, wouldn't you hold on to that thing for dear life? What makes the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny so desirable is that there were only a handful of them minted, and by accident, too. Over the years, this coin has gone from a random error to one of the holy grails of modern US coinage. It's like finding a diamond in a pile of rocks. Pretty cool, right? Also, when you factor in condition, whether it's mint state or showing signs of wear and tear, the price can vary. But one thing's for sure, even if your coin isn't in perfect condition, it's still worth a lot more than face value. And if you've got one in pristine condition? Well, you might just want to call your insurance agent because $1.6 million might be coming your way. Okay, So, how do you go about finding one of these golden, well, copper tickets? First off, don't get discouraged if you don't find one tomorrow. The chances of randomly stumbling across a 1988 no mint mark are slim, there just aren't that many out there. But that doesn't mean all hope is lost. Here's the deal: start checking your pennies. Yes, I'm serious. You've probably got a bunch of 1988 pennies sitting around. Go ahead, take a second to sift through them, check under the date for that mint mark. If you find a clean, blank spot, congrats, you might have a real winner. And no, it doesn't matter if the penny is a little dirty or worn out. Even those can go for a few $100s, depending on the condition, and if you really want to up your game, you can head to coin shops or auction houses where experts can help you identify any hidden treasures you might have. Plus, many of these professionals know what to look for and can help you verify the authenticity of your find. Let me take a moment to share a funny story from my early days as a coin enthusiast. Picture this: I'm about 12 years old, and I'm convinced I've found a rare coin worth tons of money. It was a 1957 penny, and I just knew it was going to make me rich. I was all set to call my family for a celebration, the whole "I'm going to the bank and buying a yacht" speech. Turns out, it was just an ordinary penny, nothing special about it. But hey, that didn't stop me from feeling like $1,000,000 for at least 5 minutes. The moral of the story? Don't get discouraged if your find turns out to be just a regular penny. The real treasure is in the journey, and the more you learn about coin collecting, the more you'll appreciate those unexpected finds, even if they aren't worth $1,000,000. So, now you know the deal with the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's rare, it's valuable, and if you find one, you could be holding on to a small fortune. But remember, the world of coins is vast, and there's always something new to discover. Before you go rushing off to check your coin jar, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. I've got a ton of valuable coin tips coming your way, and you don't want to miss out. Whether you're looking for that hidden gem or just love hearing about coins worth money, I've got you covered. Hey there, coin lovers! Now, I'm about to take you on a treasure hunt, and it's not in some faraway jungle or ancient castle. Nope, it's something way cooler. You might have a treasure hiding in your pocket right now. Yes, I'm talking about the 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, oh, it's just a penny, right? Well, I've got news for you: this little guy is worth a whopping $1.7 million. Stick with me, because I'm about to share some insane details and maybe even inspire you to go check your couch cushions. Let's dive into it. Alright, folks, let's break it down. The 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of history, it's a golden ticket, sitting quietly in your change jar, waiting to make you a millionaire. But before you start rating every coin jar you own, let me explain why this penny is so valuable. First off, you might notice that the coin's mint mark is missing. And when I say missing, I don't mean it's just worn out or blurry from years of use. No, the 1949 Lincoln penny was minted without any mark at all, meaning it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. It's like the coin version of a mystery novel. It's got that secret sauce that makes it stand out from the rest. Now, what makes this penny so rare? It's the perfect storm of factors: its age, its rarity, and, of course, the overall condition. The 1949 no mint mark penny was made in large quantities, so you might be wondering why it's so valuable today. Well, it turns out that while millions were made, not many survived in mint condition. So, if you happen to have one that's looking sharp, no nicks, scratches, or stains, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Let me share a little personal story with you. A few years ago, I found a 1949 penny in a bag of change at a local thrift store. At first, I thought it was just another old penny and tossed it into my coin collection box. Fast forward to a few months ago, and I'm reading up on rare coins, and guess what pops up? The 1949 no mint mark penny. I rushed to check mine out, and to my surprise, it looked like it had barely been touched by time. Turns out, that penny alone could have been worth a small fortune, like $1.7 million fortune. It was a dumb moment, and let me tell you, I was kicking myself. If I had known then what I know now, that penny would have been under lock and key with the rest of my rare collection. So, folks, I'm here to help you avoid the same mistake, but hold on, let's talk specifics. If you happen to have a 1949 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, I'm talking about one that's graded at MS65 or higher, you could be looking at a market value of $1.7 million. Yep, that's right. Million. With an M, and the best part? It's not just about the price tag. Owning such a rare coin is like holding a piece of American history in your hand. It's kind of like having a baseball card from Babe Ruth's era but in coin form. So, how do you know if your 1949 penny is worth this kind of cash? Well, the first thing you'll need to check is the condition. If it's shiny and pristine with no noticeable damage or discoloration, you're in the right ballpark. But let's be honest, finding one in this perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. You'd better make sure to have a magnifying glass and a ton of patience, because even the smallest imperfections can lower the value by thousands of dollars. And here's a fun little tidbit for you: the market for coins can fluctuate. That $1.7 million figure is based on the highest sale price for a top condition 1949 no mint mark penny, but don't get discouraged if yours isn't quite there. Even pennies in less than perfect condition can still fetch a nice price, sometimes up to $10,000 to $20,000 depending on the grade. So, it's definitely worth checking those coin jars, my friends. Trust me on this one. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where can I get my hands on one of these rare 1949 no mint mark pennies? And the answer is, you don't have to go to some fancy auction house. These coins are out there, and with a little research, a good eye, and maybe a bit of luck, you could find one hidden in your own collection or from a family heirloom. It's all about knowing what to look for. So, here's the takeaway: take a second to check your change, dig through those coin jars, and take a close look at your old pennies. You just might find a small fortune hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you want more tips on how to spot valuable coins, get the inside scoop on market trends, and hear more stories of coin lovers like me who turned a small investment into a big payday, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You never know, the next rare coin could be right under your nose, and I'll be here to help you spot it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep on hunting for those hidden treasures, and as always, good luck with your coin collecting adventures. Hey everyone! Picture this: you're walking through your local coin shop, scanning the aisles for something cool to add to your collection, and bam, you spot a penny. Not just any penny though, this one has the power to make you a fortune. We're talking about the 1973 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not, and in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you all about why this penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. I know what you're thinking: a penny? Worth how much? But trust me, when it comes to rare coins, it's the little things that count. Stick around as we break down the story of this unassuming little coin and why it's one of the hottest items in the coin world today. By the end of this video, you'll be on the lookout for those pennies in your pocket that could make you rich. So, let's kick things off. You probably have a bunch of 1973 pennies lying around somewhere, maybe tossed in a jar or buried deep in a drawer. Most of them are probably worth, well, 1 cent. But here's the thing: the 1973 D mint mark Lincoln penny is a special one, and not just because it's from a certain year. What sets it apart is the condition, rarity, and specific features that make this little copper circle one of the most sought-after pennies on the market. You see, when it comes to coin collecting, it's not just about the year, it's about the mint mark, the condition, and the rarity. For example, let's talk about this 1973 D penny. The D means it was minted in Denver. And while there were millions of these pennies made, only a select few stand out because of their near-perfect condition and certain design quirks. If you've ever heard the phrase "condition is everything," it applies here, big time. Collectors aren't just looking for any old 1973 penny, they're after the ones that are as close to mint condition as possible. Think of it like finding that perfect diamond in a mountain of rocks. It's not common, and that's what drives the price up. And now, here's where things get a little interesting. You might be thinking, how does a coin this old, this normal, end up being worth $1.8 million? Great question, my friend. Well, here's the twist: most of these pennies are mass-produced, but over the years, certain ones have been discovered to have subtle imperfections, errors, or have been preserved in extraordinary condition. This is where rarity meets demand, and it's like watching a penny turn into gold. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I was at a local flea market, just browsing through some random boxes of coins. I wasn't expecting much, but out of nowhere, I found a 1973 penny with that sweet D mint mark, and it was in perfect shape. Not thinking much of it, I tossed it into my collection and forgot about it. Fast forward to a few months ago, I got curious about how much it was worth. I did a little research, and to my surprise, I found out that it was worth a lot more than I ever imagined. No, it wasn't worth $1.8 million, but it was definitely worth far more than a regular penny. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a penny. So, what makes the 1973 penny stand out, even among other rare coins? It's all about the quality and rarity of those specific pennies that have survived over the years. The ones that are in pristine condition, with no wear or tear, are the ones that collectors are after. It's like finding an old comic book in mint condition, or a vintage toy that's never been opened. These things are valuable because they're hard to come by. Let's talk about how you can spot one of these rare coins. First, look at the mint mark. Is there a D right under Abraham Lincoln's shoulder? Great! Now, take a good look at the condition. Is it shiny, almost as if it just came out of the mint yesterday? That's what you're looking for. Check for any signs of wear or scratches. If the coin looks flawless, you're in the right territory. Another thing to look out for is the overall design. The 1973 pennies that are worth big money often have specific characteristics like strong, clear details, especially on Lincoln's face and the lettering. The more defined these features are, the more valuable the penny is. And remember, the less wear and tear, the better. Also, keep in mind that the rarity of this penny doesn't just depend on condition, it depends on how many people are actually looking for it. When a coin like this gets a reputation for being rare and valuable, collectors from all over the world start hunting for it, and that pushes the price up. It's like the last slice of pizza at a party, everyone wants it. Now, why is the value of the 1973 Lincoln penny constantly rising? Well, in the world of coin collecting, it's all about supply and demand. As more and more people get into the hobby of collecting rare coins, the demand for high-quality 1973 pennies keeps growing. Think of it like the sneaker market. Limited editions and special releases are worth a ton, and the same goes for coins. The 1973 penny isn't the only rare penny in the market, but it's definitely one that's catching the eye of collectors right now. And as more collectors become aware of its value, the price keeps creeping up. This is why keeping your eyes peeled for rare pennies can be such a smart investment. Who knows? Maybe the penny you toss into a jar today could be worth millions down the road. So, there you have it. The 1973 mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just another penny in your pocket, it's a potential goldmine waiting to be discovered. If you've got one in your collection, take a moment to appreciate it. Who knows, you might be sitting on a small fortune. And if you don't have one yet, don't worry, start checking those pennies, because you never know when you'll strike it rich. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips and tricks coming your way on how to spot valuable coins, maximize your collection, and maybe even make a little cash while you're at it. And hey, if you find that 1973 penny in your collection, don't forget to come back and thank me later. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more cool coin stories and strategies.